Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to explore one of the most powerful and honestly cinematic chapters in the entire Quran, Surah At-Takwir. It paints this incredibly vivid picture of the end of the world and the Day of Judgment. But it's not just some story about the distant future. No, it's a profound reality check for how we live our lives right here, right now.
All right, let's just dive straight in because this surah, it does not ease you into it. There's no slow introduction. Right out of the gate, it hits you with this massive cataclysmic event and a huge question. It asks you to imagine the unimaginable. I mean, think about it. The very center of our solar system, the source of all our light, our warmth, our life, just being folded up and snuffed out like a candle. That's the opening hook, and it immediately sets the mind-boggling cosmic scale for everything that's about to come.
So, the first part of this chapter unfolds in what you could almost think of as two acts. This first act describes 6 major signs that signal the complete unraveling of the physical universe as we know it. All the laws of nature that we take for granted, they get suspended. The entire cosmos just begins to collapse.
And the very first sign is the sun itself being wrapped up. The Arabic word here is kuwirat, which has this incredible image of something being folded up, almost like a turban. It's this powerful visual of our colossal star being compressed, its light just extinguished, its immense power brought to a final end. The one constant in our sky is the very first thing to go. And, well, once the sun is gone, the rest of the heavens follow suit. The stars, the things that have guided humanity for thousands of years, they don't just fade away, no. They fall. They scatter from their constellations. The entire universe is plunged into this deep, profound, absolute darkness. At this point, the cosmic order is officially broken. Then, the surah does something really interesting. It dramatically shifts the camera, if you will, from the heavens all the way back down to Earth. And what happens here? The mountains, the very symbol of stability, of permanence, of something solid on our planet, are completely uprooted. They're set in motion, just floating like clouds. This shows us that nothing, and I mean nothing, that we consider solid or permanent is going to remain. Now this next sign, this brings the scale from the geological right down to the personal. You have to put yourself in the context of 7th century Arabia. A 10-month pregnant she-camel was pretty much the most valuable asset a person could possibly own. It was their wealth, their transportation, their status symbol, all rolled into one. And to just abandon it? That means the terror and chaos of that moment is so overwhelming that even our most precious worldly possessions become completely and utterly worthless. Okay, and here, the natural order gets turned completely on its head. That primal instinct that separates predator from prey, it just vanishes. Wild animals, driven by this shared, overwhelming fear, are all gathered together. You've got lions next to deer, wolves next to sheep. It's this incredible image of a terror so great that it literally erases the fundamental laws of the animal kingdom. And now we get to the climax of this whole cosmic unraveling. It's an image of complete elemental chaos, the oceans. The very thing we think of to quench a fire, they themselves burst into flame. The elements are turning against their own nature. This final sign of the first act shows us that the foundational principles of our physical reality have been completely and irrevocably shattered. So, after the physical universe is basically deconstructed, the scene shifts. The focus now turns from all that cosmic destruction to a new kind of creation. It's the stage for divine justice, where the human and spiritual worlds finally take center stage. Now, before we get into the next sequence of events, we have to understand this one critical term, al-Mawuda. This refers to the female infant who was buried alive. This was a horrific practice among some pre-Islamic Arab tribes, born out of shame or the fear of poverty. This act, it represents the ultimate injustice against the most helpless, the most innocent among us. Just keep her in mind, because her story is absolutely central to what happens next. And now, a whole new sequence begins. First, souls are reunited with their bodies. It's the resurrection. Then, in this pivotal moment of pure justice, the Mawadua, that little girl who was buried alive, is asked directly, for what sin were you killed? I mean, just think about that. The question isn't even posed to her killer, it's posed to her, giving a voice to the voiceless victim. After this, the scrolls containing every single person's deeds, everything we've ever done, are laid open for everyone to see. The sky itself is peeled back like a scroll. All barriers are gone. And finally, the consequences, hellfire and paradise, are brought right there, plain as day. So this brings us to the absolute core of the entire surah. The sun being extinguished, stars falling, mountains moving, souls being judged. Why? What is the ultimate point of this awe-inspiring, terrifying, and completely transformative day? What's it all for? And here's the answer. The purpose of it all boils down to this: a single moment of absolute, undeniable clarity. It's that moment when every single soul will see, with no doubt, no filter, no excuses, the reality of what it prepared for this day. Every action, every intention, the good and the bad. The focus just snaps from the grand scale of the universe to the intimate reality of your own soul. So, having established the reality of that day, the surah shifts its focus one more time. It starts talking about the nature of the very message we're hearing, the Quran itself. It's here to defend its source and to defend its truthfulness. This surah makes this incredibly powerful declaration. It says that this warning, this revelation, is the word delivered by a noble and powerful messenger, the angel Gabriel. This is to establish its divine origin, to confirm that this isn't just a product of human imagination, but a direct transmission from the Lord of the throne. The text then directly takes on the accusations that were being thrown at the Prophet Muhammad at the time. It states, point blank, your companion is not a madman. The message he's bringing is not the word of some cursed devil. No, it is a divine truth that he witnessed with his own eyes. This sharp contrast is designed to remove any and all doubt about the authenticity and the purity of the revelation. And now we've arrived at the conclusion. After describing the end of the world, the day of judgment, and the truth of the message itself, the surah turns its attention directly to its audience. It turns its attention to us. The purpose of this whole message is made crystal clear. It is a reminder for all worlds, for all of humanity, but it's also made clear that it's specifically for those who actually want to be upright, for anyone who makes the choice to seek a straight path. It totally affirms our free will, our ability to choose, but then it places that choice in its proper greater context. Our will to do good is only possible by the will of God, the Lord of all creation. And the surah ends with this one profound, simple, and deeply personal question, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, which means, so where are you going? After everything we've just heard about the universe unraveling, about the absolute certainty of being held accountable, the message leaves us with this. It's not just asking about your physical destination, it's asking about your spiritual one. Where are you heading with your life, with your choices, with your deeds? It is a question that just echoes in your mind long, long after the words have finished.